Hey, greetings, everyone. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, Senior Fellow at the Media Research Center. There's a very famous quote that's attributed to a gentleman by the name of George Santayana, back around the circa 1928. It says, "Those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it." And last week, watching the Impeachment Inquisition of the Democrat Socialist Party led by Emperor Adam Schiff on Capitol Hill, I kind of thought about, what is it from military history that reminds me about these impeachment faux pas, if I can call it that? I thought about this incredible battle. It occurred during World War II, September 1944, from the 17th to the 25th of that month. It was called Operation Market Garden. It was supposed to be the largest ever airborne operation in history, and it was. Some 35,000 paratroopers from the United States, from Britain, and also from Poland. The plan by General Sir Bernard Montgomery was to capture several bridges over key rivers and deep in the heart of German territory in the Netherlands, but there was only one road that they could take, because what they wanted to do was conduct a deep armored assault into the Netherlands and then turn and drive deep into Germany. The key thing was that each one of these bridges had to be taken by the respective airborne forces, the 82nd Airborne Division, the 101st Airborne Division, and the British 1st Airborne Division, augmented by Polish paratroopers. It was a very risky operation. And the interesting thing was that early on, aerial reconnaissance and even the Dutch resistance told the British that there was an armored force of the Nazis located near the city of Arnhem, which was the last bridge that had to be captured for this endeavor to be successful. But for whatever reason, even with that intelligence and that aerial reconnaissance, both confirming the fact that there was a German armored element there, no one told General Montgomery because they didn't want to upset him and his plan. And so they went forward with it anyhow. And this reminds me of how, with the Democrat Socialist Party, they keep going down this path of impeachment, even though they know there's really no there. Intelligence, reconnaissance, everything is reported to the opposite, but they are so determined to do one thing, to impeach President Trump, that the truth and the facts do not matter. Well, the exact same thing with Operation Market Garden. Early on, there was success at one of the bridges, but then the Germans were able to destroy the bridge at Son, and then later on there was difficulty in capturing the bridge at Nijmegen. And understand that the British 30th Armored Corps was sitting around waiting to launch on this singular road. Every minute, every hour was very important. And the British paratroopers landed at Arnhem, but as the famed story goes, and the movie as well, it was a bridge too far. Only about 20% of the British 1st Armored Division were able to make it out from Arnhem. The entire operation, Operation Market Garden, was a failure. It was the greatest airborne operation in history, but it was also a massive failure. And that's how I see it with this Impeachment Inquisition. I know that we have more witnesses coming up, but last week's witnesses, they didn't really move the bar whatsoever. As a matter of fact, we found out that these key witnesses had no idea of the phone call. Heck, I have more information about the phone call because I can read the transcripts, I guess just the same as they could. And Ambassador Jovanovic, she wasn't even in position. But I guess we were supposed to become hurt and upset because she was taken out of her position. But then no one said anything when Barack Obama was removing ambassadors and in placing his own people. And speaking of that hypocrisy, when we talk about a bridge too far, this is what I found so unpalatable. We wouldn't be talking about Ukraine whatsoever if it had not been for the statement from President Obama to then Russian President Dmitry Medvedev in an off-mic moment that he would have more flexibility after re-election.
After my election, I have more flexibility.
Yeah, I understand.
I transmit this information to Vladimir.
That flexibility led to the Russian-backed forces taking the Crimea and also invading eastern Ukraine. And when we talk about aid to Ukraine and how all of a sudden the Democrats are so upset because maybe that aid got delayed, the same cries for aid went out to President Barack Obama. He sent blankets, socks, and MREs. President Trump has been sending financial support, Javelin anti-tank missiles, and yes, we have troops that are there coordinating and working not only with the Ukrainian army, but also Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania, the Baltic states. So what is this whole Operation Market Garden for the Democrats leading to? Another failure. Just the same as the Mueller report, the Russia, and all of the other means by which they are trying to undermine a duly elected president. We'll see what they come up with this week. They have more witnesses that they're going to bring forth. But right now, I think the top witnesses are the president of the Ukraine, President Zelensky, who said there's nothing wrong here. And if we can't trust the president of Ukraine, who says there's nothing wrong here, then who can we trust? A bridge too far. I believe that the Democrats have gone absolutely too far with this charade. As a matter of fact, why are we not talking about Joe Biden and his undue influence upon Ukrainian prosecutors that were going after the company that was giving his son Hunter Biden $50,000 a month for doing absolutely nothing? If there's one thing we have learned from history, is that it does repeat itself. And next November 2020, we will see how great this strategic blunder of the Democrats really was.